My beloved child. Before this moment passes, listen carefully, because what is reaching you right now is not ordinary, and it did not arrive by accident. Out of all the voices that could have filled your day, out of all the messages that could have appeared before your eyes, this one has found you for a reason that is deeper than you realize. Do not move away too quickly. Don't skip. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you, and what begins quietly may unfold into something your heart has been needing for a very long time. There are days when everything around you looks normal, yet inside you feel that something invisible is shifting. You cannot always explain it. You may smile in front of people, continue your routine, answer questions, and still carry a silence inside that nobody truly hears. But today, that silence is being noticed. Today, the part of you that has been wondering if heaven still sees your struggle is being answered in a way you did not expect. For a long time, you have asked questions without speaking them aloud. You have looked at situations that made no sense. You have watched doors remain closed, watched delays continue, watched people change, and wondered why certain answers never arrived when you thought they would. Yet even in that waiting, something was happening behind the scenes that your eyes could not measure. This is why you must remain here for the next few moments. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, because the message is not only about comfort, it is about recognition. There is something you have been carrying that heaven has not ignored. There were nights when your thoughts became heavier than your words. There were moments when you tried to be strong while feeling uncertain inside. You may have told yourself that tomorrow would feel different, only to wake up carrying the same questions again. But even those moments were seen. Not one silent tear, not one restless hour, not one hidden concern passed unnoticed. What you call delay has often been protection. What you called silence has often been preparation. And what looked empty was never truly empty. Some things were being held back because the timing around you was incomplete. Some answers were delayed because the version of you receiving them had to become stronger first. Some people were removed because their presence would have distracted you from what is still ahead. And this is where many stop listening too early. But do not stop now. Don't skip. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you, and one thought in the next moments may stay with you far longer than you expect. There are certain seasons where everything appears unchanged, yet internally, a new chapter has already started. That is where many people become discouraged, they judge too quickly by what they can see. But unseen beginnings are often the strongest beginnings. Even now, something within you has felt unusual lately. A thought that returns often. A memory that suddenly appears again. A feeling that something important is near, even if no clear sign has arrived yet. That is not meaningless. Sometimes your spirit notices movement before your circumstances reveal it. There are people who misunderstood your quietness and assumed you had nothing left inside. They did not know how much strength it took for you to continue when you felt uncertain. They did not understand how many times you kept going while carrying invisible weight. Yet your endurance has spoken louder than words. And this message arrives to remind you that unseen strength is never wasted. There is a reason why certain things did not break you, even when they looked powerful enough to do so. There is a reason why after moments that should have emptied you, you still found yourself standing. Something greater held you together when you thought you were close to losing direction. And now a serious moment is here. Not to frighten you, but to awaken your attention. Because what comes next in your life may not arrive with noise. It may begin with one quiet turn, one small change, one unexpected moment that seems ordinary until later when you realize it was the beginning of something larger. That is why this moment matters. The next decision you make, the next attitude you carry, the next way you respond to pressure, these things matter more than they appear. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Not every important answer arrives dramatically. Sometimes the strongest message arrives softly so only the attentive heart receives it. You may have felt lately that something was trying to get your attention repeatedly. Perhaps through repeated thoughts, sudden reflection, unusual peace during uncertain moments, or even unexpected pauses that forced you to think deeper than usual. These moments are not empty interruptions. Sometimes they are invitations to notice what your fast-moving days usually hide. There are things ahead that require a calmer heart than yesterday. There are opportunities ahead that require clearer vision than before. There are moments approaching that will need courage, not fear. And courage is often built in quiet seasons. You may not yet understand why certain answers have been delayed, but one day you will look back and realize that what felt slow was actually precise. Timing has protected you more than you know. There are people who left because they were never meant to walk into the next chapter with you. There are conversations that ended because they had already served their purpose. There are disappointments that prevented larger damage you never saw. And there are still things being arranged beyond your sight. That is why you must hold your attention here. Don't skip. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you, and before this part ends, there is one thought you must carry carefully. The heart often asks, why now? Why this season? Why this silence? But sometimes the better question is, what is being built in me while I wait? Because while you were asking for visible change, invisible strength was growing. While you wanted immediate answers, endurance was becoming deeper. While you wondered whether anything meaningful was happening, foundations were quietly forming underneath your future. And foundations matter more than speed. What stands strongly later often begins slowly first. Even now, as you hear these words, there is something inside you that recognizes this moment. Not because everything is suddenly solved, but because a certain heaviness is being challenged by hope again. And hope is not small. Hope changes how you see tomorrow. Hope changes how you survive today. Hope reminds you that unfinished chapters are not failed chapters. This is why today matters more than it looks. Not because everything changes in 1 second, but because one serious message can change the way you carry the next hours ahead. And if you remain attentive, you may notice that something you feared will not hold the same power over you anymore. Something that once made you restless may begin losing its grip. Something that looked impossible may slowly become clearer. But only if you do not walk away too early from what is being placed before your heart right now. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the next part will go deeper into what many people miss when life becomes quiet, why silence often comes right before unexpected movement, and why what you almost gave up on may not be finished yet. There is a reason the quiet moments have felt heavier lately, because silence often arrives just before something important begins to move. Many people misunderstand silence and think nothing is happening, but some of the greatest turning points begin when everything appears still. So listen closely now, because this next part is not ordinary. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. You may have noticed how certain thoughts return when everything becomes quiet. A memory, a question, a feeling that something unfinished is standing near your future. You try to move on, yet something inside keeps reminding you that not everything is complete. That feeling is not random. Sometimes what returns repeatedly is not there to disturb you, but to prepare your attention for what is about to become clear. There are seasons when answers do not arrive loudly. Instead, they begin like a whisper inside your spirit, almost too gentle to notice unless you slow down enough to hear it. That is why this moment matters. A serious message is not always delivered through dramatic events. Sometimes it comes through a sentence that reaches exactly when your heart is ready to receive it. For a long time, you may have looked around and wondered why others seemed to move ahead while your own path remained uncertain. You may have asked why some doors opened quickly for others while yours remained closed longer than expected. But what you did not see was how carefully certain moments were being held back until they could arrive without harming what still needs to grow inside you. Timing has protected you more than delay has disappointed you. What felt late was often precise. What felt hidden was often intentional. And what looked empty may have been full of preparation. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, because one thought in the next moments may explain why certain things never worked the way you expected. There are people who entered your life and left before you understood their purpose. At the time, it may have felt confusing. You may have questioned why certain bonds changed, why certain words became distant, why certain plans disappeared. But not every connection was meant to remain forever. Some were lessons, some were mirrors, and some were simply reminders that your journey cannot be built on every voice that appears beside you. And now you are standing in a season where clarity is becoming more valuable than approval. Not everyone who understands you will stay. Not everyone who stays will understand you. But what truly belongs in your future will not need force to remain. That truth becomes clearer the longer you live. Sometimes the greatest gift is not what arrives, it is what quietly leaves before causing greater confusion. This is why you must continue listening carefully. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because there are moments approaching where you will suddenly understand why certain disappointments had to happen first. What once felt like loss may later look like protection. What felt like rejection may later reveal itself as redirection. And here is what many do not realize. The strongest transformations often begin internally before anything visible changes around you. First, your thinking changes. Then your peace changes. Then your reactions change. And only after that do your circumstances begin to shift. That inner change has already started in ways you may not have fully noticed. Perhaps you are less attached to things that once consumed your thoughts. Perhaps you recover faster from moments that once would have shaken you deeply. Perhaps you are beginning to understand that not every unanswered question deserves your energy forever. That growth matters. It means something within you is becoming stronger than before. And strength built quietly often lasts longer than excitement built quickly. There are also moments ahead that may look ordinary at first, yet later you will remember them as beginnings. A conversation, a realization, an unexpected pause, a simple decision, these are often the hidden doors through which larger changes enter life. That is why attention matters now. Because missing small moments often means misunderstanding bigger ones later. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. You may feel that something around you is about to become clearer. Perhaps you cannot explain it fully, but your spirit senses movement before your eyes see evidence. This happens more often than people realize. Sometimes your heart notices what logic has not yet caught up with. And when that happens, patience becomes powerful. Not passive patience. Not empty waiting. But steady patience that remains alert, calm, and ready. Because when the right moment arrives, clarity often comes faster than expected. One day of understanding can answer months of confusion. One clear moment can settle many restless thoughts. One unexpected turn can reveal why earlier roads never opened. That is why you must hold your focus. There is something important about this season. You are being taught not to measure your life only by visible results. Many important things are growing where eyes cannot immediately see. A tree does not show its roots first, yet roots decide whether it will stand. And in the same way, unseen growth in you matters more than temporary appearance. You may think little has changed, but inside, your endurance has already become different. Your perspective has deepened. Your patience has stretched. Your ability to continue without clear answers has become stronger. That strength will matter more than you know. Because what comes next will not only require hope. It will require steadiness. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There are still answers you have not received, but not receiving everything at once is sometimes mercy. If every answer came too early, you might carry pressure instead of peace. But when the right understanding arrives at the right time, it settles naturally inside you. This is why some truths arrive slowly. Not because they are distant, but because your heart is being prepared to hold them well. And perhaps today is part of that preparation. Perhaps these words are reaching you because something inside you needed this exact reminder. Your story is not standing still simply because progress is quiet. Quiet progress is still progress. Invisible preparation is still preparation. Unseen movement is still movement. And soon, what feels hidden may begin to show itself more clearly than before. So remain attentive, because the next part will go even deeper into why certain sudden changes enter life after long quiet seasons, and why what seemed impossible may begin moving when you least expect it. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Sometimes the biggest change begins on a day that looks completely ordinary, and that is why this moment deserves your full attention right now. A serious message often reaches a person just before they understand why certain things had to remain hidden for so long. Do not rush past this part. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There are moments in life when everything appears unchanged on the outside, yet inside, an unseen line has already been crossed. A season quietly ends before the world around you notices it. A new chapter begins before visible proof appears. And many people miss that moment because they expect important things to arrive loudly. But often, what matters most enters quietly first. A thought becomes clearer. A burden begins to feel lighter. A fear loses some of its power. A question that once kept returning suddenly becomes less heavy. These small inner shifts are not small at all. They are signs that something within you is being repositioned for what comes next. You may have noticed recently that certain things no longer affect you the way they once did. Words that once stayed in your mind for days now leave more quickly. Situations that once unsettled you now meet a calmer version of you. That is not accidental. Growth often becomes visible through what no longer controls your peace. And peace is powerful. Peace is not emptiness. Peace is strength that no longer needs noise to prove itself. Peace is evidence that something deeper has been built inside you during quiet seasons. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, because the next truth explains why sudden clarity often appears after long confusion. Many times, people believe they are behind simply because they cannot yet see results. But hidden preparation never means forgotten purpose. Some things must strengthen beneath the surface before they can rise visibly. A river does not become powerful because it moves quickly. It becomes powerful because it continues. And in the same way, the quiet consistency you carried through uncertain days has already shaped more than you realize. Even when you thought little was happening, something important was still forming. Even when you felt overlooked, your endurance still mattered. Even when answers stayed distant, your ability to continue became part of your strength. This is why today matters more than it first appears. Because there are moments approaching when you may suddenly understand why certain paths remained closed. What once felt confusing may begin to make sense with surprising clarity. A delay you questioned may reveal protection. A silence you struggled with may reveal wisdom. A closed door may later look like kindness. And when that understanding arrives, it often comes with a calm realization. Not everything that left was meant to remain, and not everything delayed was meant to harm you. That thought alone changes how a person sees their own story. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There is also something else many people rarely notice. Before important movement happens externally, attention is often being sharpened internally. You begin noticing what truly deserves your energy. You begin releasing what only drains your peace. You begin valuing clarity more than noise. That sharpening matters because future decisions are often guided by what you have learned in hidden seasons. And perhaps that is why this message found you today, because your attention is being called higher than before. There may soon be moments where your response matters more than your feelings. A moment where patience matters more than speed. A moment where calm thinking matters more than immediate reaction. Those moments often decide more than people understand. That is why quiet seasons are never wasted. They train what loud seasons later reveal. You may also feel that something unfinished in your heart has remained there for a reason. A hope you never fully released. A thought that returns gently. A sense that not everything has been written yet. Sometimes that inner knowing remains because your story still has pages you have not seen. And unfinished does not mean forgotten. Unfinished often means still developing. Some answers take longer because they arrive carrying more weight than expected. Some moments take longer because they must align with more than one part of your journey. And some revelations come only when your heart can receive them without fear. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because one of the strongest truths is this. What you thought was the end of something may only have been the end of one form, not the end of meaning. Sometimes a chapter closes so another can begin without confusion. Sometimes something leaves so clarity can enter. Sometimes what disappears creates room for what belongs. And though this is difficult while living through it, later it often becomes one of the clearest truths of all. There is strength in realizing that not every unanswered question needs immediate resolution. Some things become clear only after distance. Some truths become visible only after waiting. Some peace arrives only when you stop forcing what was never meant to remain. That kind of understanding changes a person deeply. It creates steadiness. It creates maturity. It creates quiet confidence. And quiet confidence often prepares a person for moments they once thought they were not ready for. If your heart has felt lately that something important is near, do not dismiss that too quickly. Sometimes inner awareness notices movement before circumstances speak clearly. That does not mean every feeling is an answer, but it does mean your attention should remain calm and awake. Because important moments often arrive without announcement. A single conversation can shift perspective. A single realization can change direction. A single ordinary day can carry the beginning of something unforgettable. That is why you are hearing this now. Not by accident. Not without reason. But because this part of your journey may require you to remain awake in spirit even while life appears ordinary. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the next part will reveal why some people experience their clearest turning point only after they believed nothing significant was happening, and why the quiet days you almost dismissed may hold more meaning than you imagined. What many people call an ordinary day has often become the doorway to the most unforgettable moments of their lives, and that is why this part must be heard with full attention. A serious message does not always arrive when everything is dramatic. Sometimes it reaches you when life seems quiet, because quiet moments often carry the clearest truth. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There are times when a person believes nothing important is happening simply because no visible answer has appeared yet. But hidden seasons are never empty seasons. Some of the most meaningful changes begin where nobody can measure them. Not in noise, not in public, but inside the heart, where strength is formed before direction becomes visible. You may have wondered why certain days recently felt unusual, even when nothing around you clearly changed. Perhaps you felt more reflective than before. Perhaps certain memories returned without warning. Perhaps you sensed that something was shifting even though you could not explain what it was. Those moments are not always random. Sometimes they are quiet invitations to notice that your inner world is being prepared for something your outer world has not revealed yet. And preparation matters more than many realize. Because when a moment finally arrives, it often asks whether your heart is ready, not whether your eyes expected it. That is why the hidden work inside you matters so much. The patience you learned. The calm you fought to keep. The way you continued even while carrying unanswered questions. All of that has built something valuable. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, because what comes next may explain why long quiet seasons often end in surprising ways. There are moments when life suddenly becomes clear after long uncertainty, but that clarity usually arrives to people who stayed steady during the silence. Many want immediate answers, yet some answers only become meaningful after endurance has taught you how to carry them. A person who receives clarity too early may misunderstand it. A person who receives clarity after growth often recognizes its value immediately. That is why timing is never small. You may have once looked at a closed door and felt disappointment, yet later realized that if it had opened too early, it would have led you into confusion. You may have wished certain people stayed, only to understand later that their leaving protected your peace more than their staying would have. This is one of life's deepest surprises. What hurts in one season may later reveal kindness hidden inside it. Not every ending is loss. Not every pause is emptiness. Not every delay is denial. Sometimes the story is still arranging itself beyond your view. And that unseen arrangement matters more than what your present emotions can immediately explain. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There is also something remarkable about the way quiet seasons sharpen vision. When noise decreases, truth becomes easier to hear. You begin to notice what truly matters and what never deserved so much of your energy. You see which voices brought peace and which voices only brought confusion. You understand which hopes still carry life and which ones no longer fit who you are becoming. You recognize that not every opportunity deserves your urgency. That kind of clarity changes everything. Because once clarity enters, decisions become lighter. You stop forcing what does not belong. You stop chasing what weakens your peace. You stop fearing every unanswered moment. And slowly, confidence grows, not loud confidence, but quiet certainty that something meaningful is still unfolding. That quiet certainty is powerful. It allows a person to stand calmly even when details remain incomplete. It allows hope to remain without pressure. It allows trust to breathe where fear once tried to dominate. And perhaps this is why you needed this exact moment today. Because your heart may be closer to understanding than you realize. There may soon be one simple moment that suddenly makes many past questions look smaller than before. A single realization can do that. A single insight can shift months of confusion. Sometimes one ordinary morning carries more meaning than an entire restless season before it. Sometimes one unexpected word changes the direction of thought completely. Sometimes one calm decision opens a path that fear would have missed. That is why attention matters now. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. You may not yet see the full picture, but full pictures are rarely given all at once. Often only the next piece becomes visible, because that is enough for the next step. And the next step is often more important than seeing everything. Many people delay peace because they think they need complete certainty first. But often peace begins when you accept that today only requires the next clear step, not the full explanation. That is how hidden strength becomes visible. One calm step. One clear thought. One faithful day. One steady heart. And then suddenly, what once felt impossible begins to look reachable. Not because everything changed overnight, but because you changed enough to see differently. That change inside you is already more significant than you may realize. Even now, there are things you handle differently than before. Situations that once disturbed you deeply now meet more calm. Questions that once controlled your whole day now pass more gently. That is growth. And growth is often the quiet proof that something beautiful has already begun before results fully appear. So hold this moment carefully. Because some people hear words and move on, while others hear words that remain in them for years. This may be one of those moments. Not because it is loud, but because something inside you recognizes that these words arrived exactly when they needed to. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the next part will go deeper into why certain answers appear just after a person stops expecting dramatic signs, and why some of the most meaningful changes begin in the exact place that once felt ordinary.